Well, I'm here today kindly invited by Hairspray to check out their new brush range. I have to say I'm a very particular makeup artist when it comes to my makeup brushes, and I'm very particular about the quality they have to be. I am going to be quite critical today, if needs be, on the brush range, because I do expect quite high standards. And it's asked of me everywhere I go, when I'm out and about in shops or when I'm out on a night out, what brushes do I use? What's the best brushes you can use? So I'm excited today to see how these brushes compare to their competitors on the market, which are the high-end brushes that we're going to be kind of comparing them to today. Also, it's very important that when you have a brush set that you're educated in exactly what function each brush is for. So step by step today you're going to see what brushes are used where they're placed on the face, how they're blended. So you're really going to get a huge insight into each function of the brushes today. We're starting off with the foundation paddle brush number 5. I'm going to use Face and Body from MAC foundation. Just pop a little bit on your brush and then just buff it onto the skin. And keep adding a small amount of product at a time. Never overload your brush. You don't want to have too much product on the face and then have to try and blend it away. Better to add more product rather than try and blend away product that you've excess. So a key soundbite for this brush and what you're doing is a buffing action. So back and forth quite quickly. So you're really blending it into the skin. This particular brush is a synthetic brush tipped with natural hair, so it gives you that kind of firmness, but gives you the polish of a beautiful finish on the foundation as well. So here we have the stippled foundation brush number 5A. This brush is completely natural hair with feathered hair on the top, so it gives a really kind of buffing action again. Pop a little bit on the foundation brush. This kind of brush I tend to go with more circular motions as opposed to the paddle brush that we just used previously. And if I was to choose a foundation brush between the two brushes we were just using, this would be my favourite brush. It's one I have in my kit myself. Just close your eyes. So don't forget to pop product over the eyelids as well. It's very important, and you can do that with your foundation brush also. Just close again. So next we're going to do some concealing. Concealer brushes come in many different shapes and sizes. Here's 3 examples of that. I tend to personally use a slightly larger concealer brush. It's just something you cover more of the area of the face quicker, whereas a smaller concealer brush can be a little bit more finicky from as far as I'm concerned. So my favourite would tend to be the larger paddle of the concealer brush. So that's the one I'm going to use now. So I'm using a MAC concealer. Select cover up. So just work from the back of your hand. So what we're doing here is we're going to conceal any of the areas of the skin that the redness is still coming through after we've applied foundation. So as you will notice as well, the products I'm using have a yellow or a golden undertone, so they're going to counteract any redness in the skin. So this is brush 1O, so brush number 10 concealer brush. So just in the area of the skin that has some redness still coming through, so that can be the cheek area. Again, this is kind of buffing back and forth with the brush. And also you can use patting motions. So you're just making sure that when you're looking at the product in the face, that there's no lines in it, that it's properly worked in. So I also put, with the concealer brush, I pop a bit of concealer over the lip area as well. It's just for later on, it'll tend to hold on your lip products better. And just get you to close. So just on the eyelids as well, with the concealer brush, just pop on if there's still a bit of redness coming through. So a combination of the two foundation brushes we've used and the concealer brush, you see you're just getting a nice, even, flawless finish on the products you're using. Sticking with the concealer brush number 10, we've just used it on the face to cover any redness, any areas of redness on the face. So this time I'm using a kind of a pinky toned concealer for under the eye area. Again, that type of concealer will counteract any discoloration under the eyes. So just pop a little bit on the brush, on the top of the brush, and get Christy to look up. So you literally just go along the eyelash line. So you can see what I mean by the slightly bigger brush just covering the area of the eye or the face just a little bit better than a smaller brush would do. From my experience, it's much better. So instantly, combined with the concealer brush and the concealer, gives a lovely lift and brightness to the eye. Again. And close again. Open. So this is number 2 powder brush. As you can see, it's got quite a voluminous head on the brush. So with this powder brush and the powder, we're going to dip in straight down like that, but not too harsh, not too hard on the brush, because otherwise you're going to start breaking the hair. The brush is tapered and cut in a way to pick up the amount of product that it's needed. So you just dip in like that. Close again. So start over the eye area. So this is just setting the makeup and giving you a nice matte base for blending your blushers and your eyeshadows. So as you can see, by just buffing the powder on, it just gives that extra finish to base and your concealer. Okay, now I'm going to use the blusher brush, and it's number 3. And as you can see, there is similarities with the blusher brush and the powder brush number 2, but the blusher brush is just that bit smaller. So we're going to dip into a bronzing product. Just the tip of the brush again. Again, you're not overloading the brush or being too harsh with the brush by shoving it into the product. You just touch off the product and it picks up the amount of product that's needed because of the way it's cut. Get Christy to turn slightly this way. So what we're doing is working from the top of the ear and the outer cheek, back and forth. So even before you touch the skin, move the brush back and forth. So you're giving that nice even distribution of product. So you'll see immediately that it's starting to shade or contour the cheekbone area. So just loads of blending. You really can achieve an amazing chiseled or sculpted finish with this brush. Okay. With the blusher brush number 3, we're just going to dip into a gorgeous blusher from Kohl, which is called Fame, just on kind of the side of the blusher brush, and then just kind of on the high part of the cheek. You're just kind of buffing it on. This blusher is also frosted, so it gives that beautiful glow as well. Okay, so a big smile. So you can just see it just catches the apple of the cheek. Now we're going on to the eyes, and we're going to start with the eyebrows. So this is number 40, and it's an angle brush. This brush can also double up as a liner brush as well, which you'll see later on. So just get a matte dark brown eyeshadow, and just start from the bottom of the brow. And you'll see immediately it's starting just to darken the brow and give it more definition to tie in with Christy's hair colour. So continue to dust the powder through the eyebrow, and slowly but surely you'll see the really beautiful shape take place. And just kind of do the outline of the top of the brow, and then the bottom as well. And then you just kind of fill in the bit in between. Okay, so that's angle brush number 40. So now we have the eyebrows done, and what we're going to do next is some eyeshadow. We're going to do the eyeshadow in 2 stages. We're going to do one which is with the blending brush, which is quite a tapered brush into kind of the crease of the eye. So got like a socket line, the kind of C shape of the eye. The 4 brushes I have here in front of me, all of the 4 brushes could do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to show you my 2 favourite brushes, which is this one here and this one here. Blending into the socket line, and then going to use the 2 smaller blending brushes to blend underneath the eye, so you'll see with all of the brushes what their function are. So I'm going to start off with number 32. So just dip your eyeshadow with the brush. Again, just a little swirling action, not too harsh with the brush. Again, you don't want it, because it's designed and tapered to pick up the amount of product you need. So just that it's on the top of the brush. And just tilt back and just give a little lift with the eye. Just look straight ahead. And you're just kind of blending back and forth. Just kind of really blending. So you're creating a nice soft socket line, smoky socket line. And the eyeshadow I'm using is actually Kid from MAC. So lots of blending. You don't want it to look like it's any harsh lines, you just want it to look like it's softly blended away. So you can continue to build that up. So you see how I go right into the bridge of the nose and bringing it right out again. So you're working with the whole shape of the eye. So you continue to do that until you're happy with the definition or whatever the strength of the eye contour you want. Okay, so you can see already, comparing the two eyes, this is just becoming slightly more sultry looking than the other one. Now we're going to use brush number 31. So just to kind of create the same definition we did with the other brush, we're going to do the same definition on the other eye, which is with the 31 brush. Dip into the eyeshadow. So blending back and forth again. This brush also can be referred to, I suppose, as a rabbit's foot. It looks a bit creature-like. So you're just blending back and forth again to create the definition. So the key with these brushes is to really blend and soften the shadow, so you don't have like a line of product. So it's really soft and kind of graduates away, fades into nothing. So that's how you get that gorgeous, perfect smoky eye look. It's all in the blending. Step 2 of the blending process on the eyes, we're going to use number 12 and number 13. As you can see, they're both very similar shapes, with one slightly bigger than the other. I'm probably going to use the slightly smaller one, but they'll both do the same job. So I'm going to use number 13. So with the same eyeshadow we blended into the crease of the eye. Kid, just go along the bottom of the eye, along the lash line. So you just buff along the lash line. Again, you want it to look quite soft as well, so lots of blending back and forth. step is this applicator brush. It's number 11. And what we're going to be doing with this is we're going to be using it as the lid applicator. So we're going to be using a metallic powdered eyeshadow to add that really beautiful metallic sheen on the lid of the eye. So I'm using Ice Latte from Brown Sugar. Can you just close your eyes for me, Christy? So literally, I'll just do that again. I'm just going to press along the lid of the eye. So you can see that that applicator paddle is perfect for this particular function. And just turn it back. Now I'm just going to go back to our larger blending brush number 32. I'm just going to use a colour called Celebrity again from Brown Sugar. Just to look straight ahead again. Just kind of right into the where you brought the metallic shadow up to the crease line, just blend it into the socket line. Just to finish it off. So we're going back to the angle brush that we did the eyebrows with earlier on, and it's number 40. I'm going to do some eyeliner with this brush. So I'm going to use a black carbon matte eyeshadow and get Christy to look down. Always flick the brush to knock off the excess of the product, otherwise you're going to get loads of fallout onto your face and you don't want to ruin your lovely foundation. So I'm actually going to go kind of underneath the lash line. So it's just a really beautiful way of doing eyeliner, kind of in a natural way, but still quite eye-catching. You'll hear me clicking the brush. That's not me being mad, it's just knocking the excess off, like I said. And look straight ahead again, tilt back, down again. Sticking with the number 40 angle brush, I'm going to use some Black Tracks cream liner from MAC. And we're going to just press this along the lash line on the top. So this ties in nicely down with the powder definition we put underneath the lash line, and then you're pressing it along the top of the eye, so it just intensifies the lashes and the line of the eye as well. Close again. So just to say, with all the brushes that we're using in this hairspray collection, they're all ophthalmology tested for use around the eye area, so they're not going to cause any irritation on the face or on the eyes. So this is number 4 brush, and this brush's function is multifunctional actually. You can use it for foundation brush, and also just after I've done the eyeliner, a little bit of black has fallen down, a couple of dots of powder. So I'm just going to use this brush because it's so beautifully soft, just to wipe off any of the excess powder that may have fallen down. So it's a beautiful cleaning brush, I call this, just to kind of make sure everything's kept as it should be, perfectly clean around the eye area. But like I said, you can use it for foundation brush as well, and also for contouring. If you see this brush, that's the way it's shaped. If you use this brush with your contour product and just blend from the top of the ear out to the cheek, it's kind of angled in a way that kind of gives you the advantage for your contour as well. So that brush is multifunctional. It's just a flat, pointed kind of brush. And what I love to use this brush for, I have one of these in my kit, is for defining the brows as well. So I'm just going to do a quick demo on that. Just using a dark brown eyeshadow. So literally, kind of like the angle brush, you're just kind of filling in. Some people prefer this to the angle brush, so it's a case of coming along, having a look at the brushes and see which works best for you. So next we're going to do some eyeliner on the inside of the eye. So I'm going to get Christy to look up. This is black smolder pencil from MAC. So back to our number 13 brush that we used earlier on. And just get you to look up. This brush is great for just kind of blending the pencil along the lash line to give that kind of more softer, smoky finish to the eyeliner. We're going to go into a dark brown eyeshadow. Let's look up and just blend it into the eyeliner that we just popped on. So this kind of joins the pencil and the shadow together to give a much softer, smoky blend, and intensifies the look then a little bit as well. So really with your brushes, you're just layering and blending to create a very flawless, beautiful makeup. And using the right tools are key for this, and this is what we're doing today. Eyeliners come in many different shapes and sizes, and you can see today I used the angle brush to do most of the eyeliner. But you also have number 20, 21 and 19, which can be equally as useful for eyeliners as well. They're all pretty much the same shape, but one's a little bit skinnier than the other two. So basically, just close, Chrissy. So what you're doing is you're just kind of dragging the brush along the lash line. So it's just another way of doing your eyeliner. I use Hairspray's Lash Curler. I'll just get you to look down, Christy. Give a little lift and maneuver the lashes in. How does that feel? Okay. So you just curl them and keep adding pressure for about 10 seconds and then release. Look straight ahead. You can see the difference in this side and that side. And look down again. So the next stage, which is the lip stage of the makeup, we're going to use number 18 lip brush. We're going to use a lip pencil as well initially. Just outline the lip. This is Stone Lip Pencil from MAC. So use the number 18 lip brush to soften the lip liner initially. Kind of blend it into the lips. Then we're going to use a lipstick called Blankety from MAC again. So I'm kind of using the side of the lip brush, so not so much like straight on, more kind of slightly have it held sideways on the side of the brush. Gives more of a flow of the lippy. And then just to finish off, some gloss. So your lip brush is great for applying that as well. Lip brushes are very important for the application of the lipstick to actually stay on. When people are applying their lipstick from a tube, it tends to come off much quicker than when you buff a lipstick on with your lip brush. Now we're going to use a brush number 30. Again, this brush has many functions. You could use it for buffing on a foundation, you could use it for contouring, you could even use it for powder as well. It's a handy brush maybe to have in your bag for a quick powder touch-up brush as well. I'm going to use it as a highlighter brush today. So just getting some loose powder pigment on the brush. I'm just going to blend it to the top of the cheekbone. So this is a pigment from MAC called Vanilla. So it just got a really metallic finish. So here we have a makeup brush set, collectively kind of the top brushes that you would need on a night out for touch-ups. So you have a stippling foundation brush, you have the powder brush as well, which will double up as your contour brush or your bronzer brush as well. Then you have an option of a second foundation brush as well, which is the paddle brush. Then you have the blending brush, which you can use in the crease of the eye and underneath the eye. Then you have your eyeliner and your lip brush. Okay guys, here we are. We've just finished the makeover on Christy, and I have to say I'm very, very pleased with the tools I've been given today to work with. They're all naturally handcrafted. They're natural hair with beech wood. Beautiful professional brushes, so both from a makeup artist point of view and from, I feel, from a client point of view, these brushes are on par with their competitors out there, which are the higher end on the market. I have in my hand kind of 6 brushes that are my favourite out of the bunch that we have today. I'm just going to quickly run through them as well. The stippled makeup brush, the large powder brush, the blusher and contour brush, my favourite brush of all, which is the tapered blending brush, which is the number 32, the angle brush, and then the buffer brush for underneath the eye as well. Also, can I just quickly mention as well, just on the aftercare of your brushes, particularly on a professional range like this, you need to always keep them clean. And how you would do that is how I clean my own brushes every night is with warm water and Johnson's Baby shampoo, and give them a good lather and then rinse them gently under lukewarm water. Don't have the water too hot, and don't allow the water to get down into the ferrule of the brush, which is this metal part here, because if the water gets in here, it's going to melt the glue and the hairs are going to start falling out.